And just as the Prime Minister returned from Ayodhya, the Prime Minister chairs a meeting to launch the Pradhan Mantri Suryoday Yojana with the target of installing rooftop solar panels on 1 crore houses. The scheme aims to reduce the electricity bills of the poor and the middle class, along with making India self-reliant in the energy sector. The Prime Minister directs to start a massive national campaign to mobilize residential segment consumers to adopt rooftop solar in large numbers. And that is the Prime Minister who made that big announcement. This is after returning from Ayodhya. He said that he has decided to begin a new scheme to help people set up solar panels at their homes. He was inspired by the light of the Suryavanshi Lord Ram. So in order to get more details on this, we have our colleagues Himanshu and Harsha joining us. Himanshu, over to you first. This is the first decision that the Prime Minister has taken after returning from Ayodhya. He said that he was inspired by the light of Suryavanshi Lord Ram.
That's right. And the idea is that more and more people should harness the power of the sun and try and create electricity through these solar rooftops, which will be installed on their houses. Now, at the moment, as per the details that has been shared by Prime Minister himself in his tweet, the government has now decided that under the Pradhan Mantri Suryoday Yojana, around 1 crore houses will be identified, and then they will be help and assistance will be given to people living in these 1 crore homes so that they can install solar lamps on their rooftops, which will help them create and generate electricity, conserve the power of harness the power of the sun. And the idea is, as the Prime Minister himself tweeted,
we have Harsha joining us as well. So Harsha, a Yojana with the target of installing rooftop panels. This is the solar panels on 1 crore houses, like Himanshu pointed out. This is in order to save the poor from the big fat electricity bills. Take us through the details that you have for us.
Well, from Rajasthan's point of view, Rajasthan has actually done quite well in solar power. So it has the highest solar power generation, but it lags behind in rooftop harvesting. So if you see, I'm standing here and you can see this house right behind me. And if you look closely, you'll be able to see that they've got solar power panels on their roof. If you can see that on that roof. Now, what this does is it's very interesting that, you put solar power panels on your roof. The government subsidizes it by about 40%, in some cases by 30%. And what it then does is it goes into the grid. So those solar panels will go into the grid, and that becomes less from your electricity bill. And what happens is that you're developing renewable energy from your rooftop and giving it to the grid. So you're not only does your electricity bill come down, but it's also green energy, renewable energy. And this can be even stored. So, as the technology advances, this is how it happens. Now, the states which are leading in this are really Gujarat, Karnataka, Maharashtra and Rajasthan. These are the 4 top performing states as far as solar is concerned. And now under the Pradhan Mantri scheme, it will be given a further impetus, because when the center takes up a scheme, rather than individually states taking it up, when it comes under the central umbrella, not only is the policy and the push more, but also more funds come in. So right now there's about a 30 to 40% subsidy on this. And with this even going in, looking at underprivileged households, this will even spread more. Because ultimately the aim is to go in for renewable energy, because right now 70% of India's energy needs are met by thermal power, which of course is a diminishing resource.
Right, Harsha, thank you so much for getting us those details. Himanshu, Harsha nicely broke it down for us as to what does a solar panel actually do and how the electricity gets cut, how the poor will save money, something that the Prime Minister has looked into. He's going to be, looking into 1 crore houses, these 1 crore rooftops. Any particular areas there's certain states which have employed and, adopted these solar panels, but what about the pockets which really need these solar panels?
It is a central sector scheme that the Prime Minister actually has announced. And when a central sector scheme is announced, it takes time because at the moment the modalities of how these 1 crore households will be identified has not been made public. I'm sure the officials are working on it and very soon we'll get the details of where and how government actually plans to go ahead with this very ambitious scheme. But one important update, I'm in Ayodhya now and I did interview the district magistrate a couple of days ago, and he said that the district administration and the UP government, they're all working now on creating a solar city in Ayodhya. Now, this is a part of the larger exercise that Harsha was mentioning on creating more and more sources of renewable energy. And Ayodhya, of course, is now, it has been decided to promote Ayodhya as a hub of solar power creation. There is a solar city which is coming up in Ayodhya, and important power companies are now being encouraged that they come here and they try and install renewable power projects here. And the idea is, as Harsha was also referring to, that a lot of work has been done in different states, but at the national level, this is part of the larger exercise, a concerted strategy, I would say, to create more and more structures which can promote solar power. And as the Prime Minister himself said, that for the low and middle income families, these power bills, it can help them actually save a lot of money. And it will also make India Atmanirbhar, because this was also a point that has been debated and deliberated for last several years, that the demand for power in India is rising alarmingly. In fact, I remember a couple of months back, the demand for power had registered as highest ever in India's history, and it is expected to increase more and more as the economic growth takes place and the structures of economy are expanded and the development process moves forward. The demand for power will only increase. So this is also a part of the larger strategy to create new sources of power generation, and the idea is to involve common people also, and that's why 1 crore households to start with will have solar lamps on their rooftops, and government of course will help these 1 crore families to help, and so that they can also collectively harness the power of the sun. That's right.